From the Detroit Free Press, I'm Robin Chan with today's Voice Briefing. It's Friday, January 17th, 2025.
I'm Dave Boucher with the Detroit Free Press. A former Detroit Tigers employee sued the baseball franchise in federal court Tuesday, arguing the team shortchanged him and many others who regularly worked overtime in recent years. The lawsuit, filed in the Eastern District of Michigan by Darren Jones, alleges widespread miscalculation of overtime rates for Jones and other hourly workers. Jones did not include a specific amount of money he believes he's owed. But the lawsuit seeks more than just back pay, interest, and damages for Jones. His lawyers argue that all hourly employees for the Tigers in the last 3 years are also owed some money. Jones worked in shipping and receiving from March 2017 through August 6, 2024, the lawsuit states. The lawsuit doesn't say why he left his job. He earned a shade under $16 an hour, but routinely worked overtime. While the lawsuit says he did receive some compensation for the extra work, it failed to meet federal labor law standards. Quote, at all relevant times, the Tigers had a policy and practice of willfully refusing to pay Jones and all putative collective members the legally required amount of overtime compensation for all hours worked in excess of 40 hours, the lawsuit states. The lawsuit argues the Tigers failed to take into account all pay the workers received when calculating overtime rates. Jones's lawyers argue the franchise did not include extra money a worker may receive for a quote-unquote shift premium, a perk for someone working an irregular shift, and other bonuses. They say all of this compensation must be used to calculate a person's base pay for determining overtime. The lawyers are asking a judge to give them class action status and require the Tigers to provide them all details about other hourly workers. Tigers spokesman Ben Fiddleman said the team has yet to receive the complaint, so declined additional comment. Lawyers representing Jones also did not return messages seeking comment.
I'm Susan Tompor, and I'm a columnist at the Detroit Free Press. Tax season paperwork will begin hitting mailboxes later in January. Many people will be very shocked when they receive a 1099-K. It's a tax document many have never ever received before, but more people will begin receiving it this year and next. Don't throw it out. That would be exactly the wrong thing to do. This year, you'll receive a 1099-K from payment card companies, payment apps, and online marketplaces when the amount of business transactions built up during 2024 was more than $5,000. The old standard last year was that the 1099-K was only sent to those who had received more than $20,000 and had more than 200 transactions on third-party payment platforms. Taxpayers need to know that when you make a profit selling something online, such as your Lions football tickets, that's always taxable whether you receive a 1099-K or not. But the 1099-K paperwork will create documents that are sent to the IRS to guarantee that many people do pay taxes on these profits. But you have to remember you're not always dealing with a tax situation. Things could get tricky. That's because third-party networks might not know whether some transactions are personal transfers, such as money sent to a friend to split the cost of a meal, or maybe a taxable business deal, which is taxable, such as selling your football tickets online at a profit. 2025 is the time to learn more about 1099-K forms, what's taxable, what isn't, and how do you correct when there is a mistake on a 1099-K that you received in the mail.
As the Detroit Lions continue their campaign towards the Super Bowl, the Freep has been reaching out to readers and listeners to hear their stories of Lions fandom. We've received great responses already, and we're still taking submissions. Here's a selection of what's been shared with us so far.
My name is Dawn Wantroba. I was born and raised in the 313 of Detroit's East Side. When I was 19 in 1994, my parents moved us out of Detroit to South Lake Tahoe, California. I am 49 years old now. I fly my Lions flag with pride. In each area I have lived, I have always been a Lions fan, and it was always a great conversational piece to tell people I'm a Lions fan. Most people didn't believe me. How could I still be a Lions fan when they are always terrible, they would say. I would tell them it's how I grew up. It's all I knew. Being a Lions fan and having my heart broken every year as a fan. I remember family gatherings on Thanksgiving and my uncles yelling at the TV when the game was on. Those are core memories. The love and the disappointment are ingrained in me and many of our fans. That's the beauty of it. We've been through it all. I remember being crushed when Barry Sanders retired in his prime. Just another story to add to the highs and lows of being a fan of this team. The Lions have made me and many of their diehard fans happy, sad, angry. We laugh, cry, and lose sleep every season. Whether winning or losing, the emotions we go through are almost unexplainable. Tis the life of a Lions fan to always be on the edge of your seat during a game, laughing and crying. Detroit versus everybody, baby. Go Lions.
If you'd like to share your story of Lions fandom with us, you can find our call-out page by heading to freep.com/Lions fan story. That's freep.com/LIONSFANSTORY. From there, you can find a form where you can submit your audio and video clips, or you can call and leave us a voicemail by dialing 313-222-2242. You can find a link to that call-out page in the description of this podcast. We'll feature our favorite submissions in the newspaper and online. Find more from the Detroit Free Press on freep.com. That's FREEP.com. Thanks for listening, have a great weekend, and you'll hear more from us Monday.